Right, good evening. Welcome to Cues on the Move. My name is Brother Dr. Lorenzo R. Perlman, and I am the Munu Chapter Social Action Chairman for Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Today's podcast will focus on the great work that Munu Chapter is doing in the community of Montgomery County, Maryland. My co-host this evening is Brother Sean Ratliff, Vice Bossman of Munu Chapter of Montgomery County, Maryland. Brother Ratliff will take a few minutes to give a brief overview of Munu Chapter, a graduate chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Brother Ratliff.
Well, thank you, Brother Dr. Perlman. And I'll tell you, it's an honor to be moderating this with you. Let me just start with this. I am so proud of Munu Chapter. Munu Chapter has actually been serving Montgomery counties for over 50 years. And one of our signature programs throughout the chapter is its George B. Thomas Senior Learning Academy. And what we do there is we mentor students from first grade on up to 12th grade. And we offer services such as getting extra time on the SAT and ACT test. We're helping students with different aspects in science and language. And so it is really one of the programs that's really near and dear to our hearts, because it was actually established by a brother actually in our chapter. And so we actually do well over other programs as well. Additionally is our fatherhood mentoring program, where we actually partner with the Housing Authority Commission in Montgomery County. And so we provide services such as how to connect with your children. And so how to be a better dad overall. And so, again, another great program. We also do other food distribution programs, toy drives, and blood drives as well, which we actually service over 300 families in Montgomery County. And so I'm very, very excited about all those activities. But one more that's near and dear to my heart is the Talent Hunt program, where it's an opportunity where we can showcase high school students from the artistic side. And they can come in, display their talent, and win cash prizes and scholarships. So very proud of Munu Chapter and the work that they're doing in Montgomery County. And I'll tell you, it's a pleasure to serve as vice apostolates within Munu Chapter. So on that note, Brother Dr. Perlman, I'll turn it back to you.
All right, thank you, Brother Ratliff, for that overview about Munu Chapter and the great work that it's doing in Montgomery County, Maryland. It's safe to say that none of us ever anticipated the year that 2020 would become just a few months after it started. The COVID-19 pandemic turned our lives upside down, changing our work habits and, unfortunately, keeping many of us separated from our loved ones. Due to COVID-19, service organizations had to make adjustments with how they go about serving their communities. Today's first podcast segment is about Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Inc. Fatherhood Initiative and Mentoring Program. Brother Donald Williams, the second district Fatherhood Initiative and Mentoring Committee Chair, wants to encourage all second district chapters of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated to be developing virtual programs during the COVID-19 pandemic aimed at mentoring young people and helping men become better fathers. We would like to welcome this evening two of my students from the Munu Chapter Bridge Builder program, Mr. Boswa Woltz and his brother Bassett Woltz. Thank you for joining us this evening. Let's get right into the conversation. So, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, many after-school and Saturday school programs have been put on hold. However, the Munu Chapter Bridge Builder Mentor Program has utilized the virtual tools of Zoom to continue its mentoring of young people. So for this first question, Boswell, let's start with you. Briefly explain your thoughts so far about your participation in the Bridge Builder Mentor Program?
What I've experienced in the Bridge Builder Mentoring Program is a sense of like togetherness, and you get to meet other youth and your peers, and you connect on certain topics that you and other adult leaders are teaching us. The lessons they're always very interactive, and we get to hear other peers' perspectives on the lessons.
Okay. All right. Ambassador, I know you have just joined us with the Bridge Builder Mentor Program, but tell us a little bit about your experience in your first session the other day.
Well, something that I liked about this is how you could just dive into a conversation and speak to people who could really understand you, because there's some people who would like disagree with you, and like in this, it's just you're talking about like the same thing, but like you're giving more topics, so it's a great experience.
All right, thank you. All right, and so we're going to move on to the next question. What Bridge Builder session topics did you connect with most, and why? All right, Wasa, we're going to start with you.
I connected with the most recent lesson, Character Counts, because we were talking about the events on the Capitol and how we live in two different Americas. In one America, people can attack the Capitol and have no punishment for it. Well, at least back then. Now they're starting to get arrested. But peaceful protests during Black Lives Matter protests, police were there in riot gear and shot rubber bullets when the protesters were doing absolutely nothing. So those are the two Americas that were shown during this lesson.
All right, excellent. All right, and looking at our last question here, would you recommend the Bridge Builder Mentor Program to other students and parents? And if so, why?
Yes, definitely, because first there's a great experience, and you really get a good education out of that. If like your school isn't teaching that much about that, like even if you have a conversation and you still want to dig deep into it, this is a place you can be, and you just can connect with a lot of people. So I really do think that other people should join.
The same for me. I think this is a very inclusive group, and you can share your opinions. And the mentors there are very dedicated, like Dr. Perlman and others, and they really educate us about what we like the topics that are presented and things that we would not learn in school or anywhere else. So I think other people should join so they can have a better perspective of what's happening in our world.
All right. Well, excellent. All right. This is what it's about. Mentoring is about educating young people and seeing them blossom. And you guys are definitely doing that. So again, we want to thank you both for taking time out of your day, and thank your mom as well for sharing your learning experience with our audience. Have a great evening.
Thank you for having us.
All right.
Thank you for having us.
All right. So at this time, we're going to transition to our next topic, which is around community service with Shepherd's Table. And so I'm going to have Brother Ratliff kind of moderate this particular segment where I will chime in on the work that Munu Chapter is doing in the community. Brother Ratliff.
Well, thanks, Brother Dr. Perlman. Again, appreciate you for having me on. And I'll tell you, one of the things that, again, that I'm most proud of is just the work that we're actually just doing out in the community, especially with Shepherd's Table. And so could you just tell the listeners this evening a little bit about the organization that's going on with Shepherd's Table actually out in Silver Springs, Maryland?
Yes, Shepherd's Table is in Silver Spring, Maryland. It's a program that serves many homeless people throughout Montgomery County, particularly homeless people in and around the area of Silver Spring. About 2 years ago, Munu chapter got involved in its food service program, where we help to prepare and serve meals to many of the homeless citizens in the Silver Spring area. And so, it's just been a transformative experience over the past several years participating in the program. We look forward to participating each month.
Excellent, excellent. And so on that note, then, what service projects has members of Munu chapter been involved in over the past 2 years?
Yes. And so again, and we talked about our food service program that we participate in each month. We also do a lot of fundraising for Shepherd's Table as well, because they need so many supplies. Some of them are food related. Others are also clothing items. That's something that they have put on hold right now due to the pandemic. But we try to meet any need that they have in order to continue to serve the community, the homeless people in Silver Spring.
Excellent. And so what is the most rewarding thing about participating in this service project?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's a humbling experience to participate in this particular project, because you see so many people from so many walks of life. People will be surprised by the fact that some people who come through hold 1 or 2 college degrees, and just fell on hard times. So it definitely is an eye-opening experience. It is an experience that, at some point, I think everyone should get a chance to participate in programs like this that are doing things to help serve the needy in our communities, and giving them an opportunity to get back on track with their lives.
Now I can say when I did a service project there as well, I definitely agree with all your sentiments there. It's definitely rewarding, and you just don't know, that person could be anybody that just fell on hard times. Something happened in their lives that kind of put them there. So it was definitely humbling for me. So one other thing, now, can anybody volunteer at Shepherd's Table?
Yeah, it's open to the public to sign up to volunteer at Shepherd's Table. They currently have a minimum number of people who can volunteer due to the COVID regulations. So right now it's just 4 to 6 people per shift. But you can sign up. They're looking for volunteers always. And it's a very, very much needed program. And so they follow all of the safety guidelines of the CDC. So I encourage people to go out and support Shepherd's Table.
Perfect. And so I'll just say thank you for providing us that update. And so let's switch gears a little bit, and let's just talk about our toy drive and the things that we have going with the Housing Authority Commission in Montgomery County. Can you tell us a little bit about the purpose of the annual Toys for Tots and Teens drive?
Yeah, thanks for asking, Brother Radliff. Yes, I will be glad to tell you about it. This is a program that I started 2 years ago, where I just felt a need to make sure that those who were less fortunate had an opportunity to have something special during times of the holidays. This year this took on a greater emphasis because we're in the current state of the pandemic. And so what we do, we ask for brothers of the chapter and also the general public to donate toys that goes to many of our families of Section 8 housing, who are part of the Housing Opportunities Commission in Albany, Maryland. And so, this particular program really helps support many of our needy families, especially around the time of the holiday. And you can just imagine what this holiday, when it came to economics, really put a strain on people's finances this year with the pandemic.
Perfect. And again, another project that's kind of near and dear to me. I tell you, it's very enlightening to kind of see those families that are in need, get additional gifts and things like that, or, that they've fallen on hard times. So with that, how does families of the HOC respond to Munu Chapter's efforts to provide toys for tots and teens during the holiday season? Have you gotten any feedback?
Oh, wow. I mean, this overwhelming, appreciation for the work we do with the Housing Opportunities Commission to provide toys for tots and teens. I mean, families are very appreciative, and the organization is very appreciative of us taking time to make sure that, the holidays are filled with joy for our young people.
Perfect. Yeah, and again, I just find it so satisfying being out there. Now, what is the level of satisfaction you personally receive from providing this important service project to the families of Montgomery County?
Yeah, it brings me great joy. Growing up in we would call it a state of poverty when I was young, and working my way out of that particular state. My purpose in that is to make sure that I give back and help others and show them the way as well. And so it brings me great joy every time that I'm able to help someone else in this way.
Outstanding. And again, thank you, Brother Dr. Perlman, for just sharing your personal stories and what Munu Chapter is actually doing in partnership with the Housing Authorities Commission. And so, these things matter. When people are down on their luck, and then we can just bring some a little bit of brighter day for these families in Montgomery County. It truly is a blessing. So on that note, let's go ahead and transition. Let's talk about some other activities that Munu Chapter is actually doing. Let's talk about the MLK Day of Service. With that being said, I'll tell you, MLK is he did a great job and just really just fighting and dying for us Americans here. So let's not let this MLK Day of Service be a deterrent here, especially for the events that actually happened in the Capitol here. And so on that note, so Brother Dr. Perlman, can you just explain what does the MLK Day of Service actually mean to you and the Brothers of Munu Chapter?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a special day. And as you said before, and Martin Luther King Jr., Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who gave his life to give us fight for these particular freedoms that we do have. And so we want to make sure we honor him by doing what we wanted, is to serve the community. That's what our organization is about serving the community, serving the citizens and students in Montgomery County, Maryland, and making sure that, they have opportunities to live productive and successful lives. And so that's what it means to many of the members of Munu Chapter in Montgomery County.
Excellent. And so I know we're having the MLK Day of Service on January the 18th. And so can you just give us a little more about the service project, who we're servicing during this particular event?
Yes. Actually, we are serving this year. Munu Chapter decided to serve two of our organizations. One is in Montgomery County against Shepherd's Table. Again, we have a long-standing partnership. And for that service project, again, we're collecting many of the food items that they need to continue their food service program. What many people don't know is that they run their food service program by way of donations. So for those who are out there listening, if you want to contribute to a good cause, I would advise you to do so by contributing to Shepherd's Table. If you look on their website, they will give you all the information you need to know about what items that they need donated to continue on with their food service program. Our second project is going to be serving the men at the Montgomery County Coalition for the Homeless in Rockville, Maryland, where we're putting together transition baskets for men there. And so everything from soap to washcloths and hand towels to brushes to combs, laundry detergent, we're putting everything into a basket for them that they need to make that transition. And so these are the two service projects that will be taking place on Monday, January 18th.
Well, thank you, Brother Dr. Pillman, for providing that excellent update. And look forward to seeing you out there. And hopefully our community will support us as well in these particular efforts. So let's quickly transition into talking about our Omega 1000 for 1000 and also our scholarship program that we actually have. So on that note, Brother Dr. Perlman, can you provide us an overview this evening of what what our viewers need to know about the Omega 1000 campaign?
Yeah, sure. This actually is a campaign that has been started by Omega Psi Phi Fraternity and Corporate International Office that has been funneled down to the local undergraduate and graduate chapters to participate in. And the goal is to basically have 1,000 individuals donate $1,000 to raise $1 million for historically Black colleges and universities. I know many of our listeners, probably like myself, I graduated Bowie State University and Howard University. We want to get back to our HBCUs. And so therefore, this particular campaign that we are helping to support our international office through MUNU is about raising funds to support our historically Black colleges and universities.
Now, how can our viewers donate to the Omega 1000 campaign?
Yeah, sure. For this, you can actually go to MUNUQs.org website. You can click on the word donations tab, and then you can click on MUNU to donate. We also have a way that you can donate, by way of Cash App as well to support this very important initiative. So please go to MUNUQs.org, go to the website and make your donations.
Now let's transition and talk about our second scholarship campaign that the chapter's doing. More importantly, the Rudolph W. Snowden Memorial Scholarship Fund. And so, Brother Dr. Perlman, can you just provide us a brief overview of the Rudolph W. Snowden Memorial Scholarship Fund?
Yes, absolutely. And this is a very, very important scholarship for many of the men of MUNU. Of course, this scholarship is named after our founder of MUNU chapter, Rudolph W. Snowden. And this particular scholarship was founded in 1978. It's a 501(c)(3) tax-deductible nonprofit organization. And the goal is to raise funds locally for students who graduate from Montgomery County Public Schools and are looking to attend a historically Black college or university. And so every year we give out funds to those students who are graduates of Montgomery County Public School System who are heading off to an HBCU. So we want to encourage many of our youth to attend historically Black colleges and universities.
So how can our viewers actually donate to the Rudolph W. Snowden Memorial Scholarship Fund?
Yeah, actually on the screen tonight, it's the address there, the website for the Rudolph W. Snowden Scholarship Fund. Also Cash App address there too for those who want to use their app on their phone to make a contribution. Again, this is a tax write-off. And so any donation that you make will definitely be going towards helping a much needed cause and supporting our HBCUs.
Outstanding. I'll tell you, again, another great opportunity that we provide out here in Montgomery County for students. So on that note, Brother Dr. Perlman, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you to really just kind of close us out and just to really just kind of talk about some other activities that we actually have going on in Montgomery County as far as what the chapter's doing. So on that, I'll turn it back to you, Brother Dr. Perlman.
All right, thank you, Brother Ratliff. All right, so as we close out this evening, just want to talk a little bit about a few of the events that are coming up during the month of February that we will be talking with you a little bit more during our podcast in February. The first one, again, is about the George B. Thomas Senior Learning Academy that is located in Montgomery County, Maryland. Again, this particular organization, which was also founded by MUNU chapter in Albany, Maryland in 1986, and has grown into one of the premier OST out of school time programs to support students in math and reading. And so we'll talk a little bit about that program. We'll have the executive director, Khadija Barkley, on to speak to that. We also will have a brief overview of our upcoming HBCU College Fair from Montgomery County, where members of the Divine Nine will participate in a panel discussion that is also hosted by MUNU chapter of Montgomery County, Maryland. So we look forward to talking about that and look forward to having a member of the Divine Nine from Montgomery County to come on and speak to you as well about that event. And then finally, we have coming up in February, the end of February, first annual Second District Game Changers Conference for Mega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, hosted by MUNU chapter. And so this is an opportunity for many of the young men across our district that make up the second district of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, from down New York to Maryland to Pennsylvania, across the second district. We're going to invite those young men to come participate in a conference that really is going to change their lives. So as I close out this evening, I want to thank you for joining the podcast segment of Q's on the Move. The next Q's on the Move podcast segment will be held on Tuesday, February 9th at 8:00 p.m. I would like to share with you this evening these final words. We encourage you to take good care of yourselves. You can help those around you by keeping your distance 6 feet apart, wear your mask, and wash your hands to protect yourself, your loved ones, and others during this unprecedented health crisis. Until next time, be the change you wish to see in the world. Be well and stay safe. Have a great evening.
Like always, Dr. Perlman,